When you thought that she was going to get a lawyer, maybe you thought she was going to get some justice for Marvon, but you sitting here attacking Dre and playing these games, how is that justice for Marvon? With the video clips from right before he passed of all the nice things, all the love, all the stuff he said about how he wanted Dre to take care of his kids, how is it justice for Marvon to go against his wishes and attack his wife?
Hi beautiful people, welcome back. Hope everybody is doing fantastic wherever you are in this world. Hope everybody is having a fantastic weekend so far. Let's just get straight into this video because I don't want to keep you guys too long. But before we do that, my usual disclaimer, please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. Let's start this video off with Tweedledee, Katie Joy. She posted on her Facebook, "This obsession is not healthy," with Josh Duggar. First of all, wasn't she the one that said trauma is not tea? But anyway, she posted and she says, "There is so much that I can't report or don't report because the information I receive is so awful or horrific that I just cannot do it." Katie Joy, you had no problem talking about what Daisy's destruction consists of, and you had no problem demonstrating to people how the vile things Josh Duggar did to his sisters. But anyway, let's keep it moving forward. But here's the tea. Every single Duggar brother will lie to protect or help Josh if they have to. Why? Because all of them, every single one of them, is completely dependent on the other financially. None of them can support their families outside the family business. Jim Bob controls every single one of his sons. They have not spoken up because they will be cut off, lose their cushy lives, and have to work for a living. The Duggar sons have very limited drive or work ethic. They grew up entitled and every single girl wants to date them. They have no manners. And let me say this, Josh might be a pedo, but the stories about his brothers aren't much better. Until a victim comes forward, I will not tell someone else's stories. But you're putting it out there, putting it in people's minds, making people think what you're saying and coming up with your own conclusion and looking at these boys differently. Gotcha. But the crap in this family isn't limited to Josh. They protect him for a reason. Allegedly, my opinions, free speech, none of them have been charged with crimes or convicted. You see, Katie Joy knows that the Duggars is her income. That's where she gets majority of her views. That's what brings her majority of her money. Or bullshit. Because Katie Joy, in my opinion, got shit to actually cover about the Duggars. The Duggars, most of them are married. They're going about their lives, which in my opinion, she still has an issue with even what they're doing in their grown-up lives. But anyways, neither here nor there. But it just reminded me of something nearly a year ago when Katie Joy was talking about Josh Duggar when he got arrested and found out what he was doing. Did she come on one of her Instagram lives and alluded to the same fact that people were guessing which of the brothers could be, because she said there's another brother that could be doing the same thing as Josh. Now check this out.
And then I find out, on top of all of this stuff, I find out that Josh Duggar might not be the only Josh Duggar in the Duggar family. And I'm like, make this stop. Make this stop. Make all of it stop. I don't want to hear any of this. I don't want to learn any of this. Like, it's out of control. Like, Josh might not be the only one that's doing this kind of stuff. And, you know, it would make sense, right? You'd have to assume in a house with that many kids and not a lot of supervision, there could be other perpetrators in that house at this time. And it's like they live in this world where they just do not think that they will ever be held accountable. What I've learned about Josh, I don't think it's Judd. No, honestly. I haven't heard anything about Judd. There's a couple names that have been thrown around and I don't have any proof right now, but it's like, yeah, it's not just, everyone keeps around all the people around them keep saying it's not just Josh, but I don't know. But that wouldn't, I mean, come on. Does that surprise you? Would that surprise you? Please stop guessing. No, it's not John. Actually, John is like the only good one. John and Joseph are like the two solid kids. Honestly, that was what those are the two solid boys I've heard about. Like, no one says anything bad about John and Joseph, literally. That's it. Those are the only two boys no one has any complaints about, John and Joseph.
I made that video 11 months ago. So once again, is Katie Joy just looking for content, regurgitating shit? Because honestly speaking, if somebody has to come to me with information like that, knowing it's not my story, I'm not even going to put it out there. You know, for people to start thinking and assuming and alluding to things, I would never do that. You would wait for that person to actually do what they need to do. And I was just thinking, how weird and funny would it be if maybe, since Jill is back with all her sisters, everybody's getting along well, that is absolutely fantastic. What if Derek and Jim Bob have made amends and Jim Bob hires Derek to go after Katie Joy? I mean, Katie Joy, by you saying allegedly my opinions, free speech, none of them have been charged. Go back to everything and all these years, what you've said about them and all that. So maybe you should be a little bit more careful and not just putting shit out there that you cannot talk about, cannot confirm. So let's keep it moving to Tweedledum. Now let's move on to Tweedledum, Unirock. His end game or mission was to bust a fraud raiser, right? It's been 3 months and he hasn't shown nothing. No proof, no evidence, nothing to show that this whole fundraiser was a fraud. But what he has done, and I've noticed this for quite a while, is that he keeps saying Marvon has passed. You heard it, the clip in the beginning. Check this out.
Everything we're saying, you've seen it here. Her biggest advocate was Marvon. This is justice for Marvon? The woman he loved? The woman he wanted to take care of his kids? The woman who he said right before he passed.
Now what am I missing here, you guys? He keeps saying Marvon has passed. To me, when somebody says somebody has passed, it means they are deceased. Shame on you, Unirock. You're supposed to be advocating for this young man, a fellow veteran. Show just a little bit of respect. No, show respect. He deserves respect. Now, when he was saying that his mission is to show that Molly Golightly, Justice for All, and LB are all, and Miss Letitia is all running a fraud raiser, but in one of his lives, he mentioned, don't quote me, and this is not verbatim, he said that if Miss Letitia did come forward with evidence now, that it wouldn't even make a difference. He will keep coming after her for causing this chaos. Instead of exposing a fraud raiser, he's reporting fellow creators. And bear in mind, all Katie Joy's enemies, Molly Golightly, LB, Charlotte on the web, and there's another one now that is included, which I'll get to. So he's reporting all these fellow creators to YouTube to try get their channels removed, trying to take food out of kids' mouths. He posted this: vet bashing like Suzanne, LB, in brackets it's got Leslie Bass, and Charlotte is what causes US veterans to get depressed and leads to things like what happened with Marvon. I honestly think their community is the most vile community out there. Unirock, you know what's vile? You vile. Number one, now Miss Suzanne is added to your list of people vet bashing you. Number two, nobody knows the exact reason why Marvon actually attempted to take his own life. Now, because it benefits you, you want to include Marvon and allude to the fact that he was depressed. We don't know if he was depressed. And I'm going to link down below a short yet powerful article as to why veterans do attempt to take their own lives. Please read it. It is absolutely interesting. Then, on this live that he did this evening, once again, going after Miss Letitia. And these are the claims and accusations he's making towards Miss Letitia.
Well, we know what your content did for Marvon. It caused his family pain and suffering. It caused people to give money to someone who had been stealing from Marvon and Dre for decades. Someone who had caused lots of depression and pain in Marvon. Someone who had caused Marvon and Dre so much hardship.
So according to Unirock, Miss Letitia was stealing from Marvon and Dre for decades. Wow. Apparently, Miss Letitia caused lots of depression and pain for Marvon. Caused Marvon and Dre hardships. Really? Going from, you're going to come in and you're going to bust this fraud raiser, to going after and completely disparaging, discrediting, harassing, shaming, and being disrespectful to Miss Letitia. What has Miss Letitia ever done to you? What? All you've done was totally always disrespected her. Always disrespected her. Not one time did you ever, Unirock, ever want to get evidence from people that were willing to give you evidence. Not one time have you reached out to Miss Letitia to get what you needed, but you were quick to always disgrace her. You even said she must F off. What kind of person are you? But your whole conclusion is that everybody that wants to take up for Marvon is jealous of Dre? Seriously? I highly recommend you guys, forget about missing puzzle pieces. I highly recommend, please go and subscribe to. That has shown me so much because she puts out full videos, not just clips, full videos of Dre McCray, and it is so enlightening. You guys can make up your own mind, because at the end of the day, the only victim here is Marvon McCray. Period. And last but not least, Unirock. Marvon deserves all the respect, all the love, and all the peace. So get it right. He has not passed. So you guys, I thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And don't forget, make good memories. Bye, guys.